These are my ultimate roast potatoes. They're cooked in goose fat, so are insanely crispy on the outside and super fluffy in the middle. They're roasted with plenty of garlic and coated in a herb butter for maximum flavour. Here's how we make them. To start off, I've got 2 kilos of Maris Piper potatoes and I use a veg peeler to peel the skin off. If your potatoes have any black bits on, we'll trim these off with a knife in just a minute. Once all our potatoes are peeled, we're going to chop them into evenly sized pieces. Now we want to keep the pieces quite big, so I'll cut smaller potatoes in half and bigger ones into 3 or 4 pieces. Once all our potatoes are chopped up, we're going to chuck them into a large saucepan and then give them a good rinse under cold water. Then we'll drain the water off, fill the pan back up with fresh water, and then let the potatoes soak for at least an hour. Then it's time to parboil them. So we're going to fill the pan back up with fresh water, then add in a chicken stock cube and a good pinch of table salt. Then we set the saucepan over a high heat, bring the water to a boil, then simmer the potatoes for 10 to 15 minutes until the outsides have started to soften. Whilst that's going on, we're going to add 75 grams of vegetable oil and 150 grams of goose fat into a large roasting tin. Then we're going to pop the tray into an oven that's been preheated to 220 degrees Celsius or 428 degrees Fahrenheit until it gets smoking hot. The fat will take about 10 minutes to get hot, so I like to do this step as soon as the potatoes start to boil. Next, we're going to take a bulb of garlic and separate the cloves. We're not going to worry about peeling them, instead we're just going to crush them with the side of a knife. We'll be roasting these with the potatoes, so we'll set them aside for now. Now back to the potatoes. Once they finish parboiling, you'll see that the outsides will be soft and will look sort of rough. We're not fully cooking the potatoes at this point, so once they reach this stage, it's time to drain them. So the next step is to drain the potatoes through a colander, then let them steam dry for 2 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to mix 2 tablespoons of fine semolina with a tablespoon of cornflour, a good pinch of salt, and a good crack of black pepper. Then I'm going to tip the potatoes back into the saucepan and then sprinkle over the cornflour and semolina mix. Then the lid gets popped back on and then we give the pan a really good shake to rough up the edges. This is key to getting super crispy roast potatoes. Next, we're going to carefully take the tray of hot fat out of the oven, then use a pair of tongs to add the potatoes into the hot fat. Once the potatoes have been transferred to the tray, we're going to give them all a turn so they're all completely coated in the fat. Then we're going to add in the crushed garlic, and then place the potatoes into the oven and roast for 40 minutes. So the potatoes cook evenly, we're going to turn them over after they've been roasting for 20 minutes. This is how you make roast potatoes that are crispy all over. Whilst the roast potatoes are cooking, we're going to make a quick herb butter. This is super easy to make. We simply add 2 teaspoons each of finely chopped rosemary, thyme and sage into 100 grams of melted butter. We're going to be spooning the butter over the potatoes towards the end of the cook so that the herbs don't burn. So now that the potatoes have been cooking for 40 minutes or so, they'll be crisp and golden. But if there's any side that could do with a bit more colour, I'm going to turn them so it's facing down into the fat. Then I'm going to spoon our herb butter all over the potatoes. Then I'm going to hit them with some more salt and pepper and cook for a final 10 minutes. And that's how I cook my ultimate roast potatoes. This is my go-to recipe whenever I make a roast dinner, and they're a guaranteed crowd pleaser. They've got everything you want in a roast potato, crispy golden edges, and a perfectly cooked fluffy inside. Full recipe for these roast potatoes and all of my other roast dinner recipes can be found on my blog saltbuttersmoke.com. There's roasted meats, massive Yorkshire puddings, and all the sides that you need to make a perfect roast dinner. If you've liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week for another recipe.